Welcome back to our YouTube channel, The Book Digest. In today's episode, we're diving into a powerful and practical summary of The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. Now, this is a story about a shepherd's journey for treasure, but as we'll see, it's really so much more than that. It's kind of like a roadmap for any of us trying to find and follow our own unique path in life.
Okay, so this one quote, it's basically the engine of the entire book. It's this huge promise, right? The idea that our deepest desires aren't just random, but are actually connected to a universe that actively wants us to succeed. And it's this very belief that kicks off our hero's incredible quest.
So let's meet our guy, Santiago. On the surface, he's a simple shepherd who seems perfectly content. He loves his freedom, his sheep, the open road, you know the type. But deep down, there's this restlessness, a quiet but persistent feeling that his life is meant for something more.
And that restlessness, well, it takes the form of a dream he just can't shake, a vision of a hidden treasure waiting for him all the way over by the Egyptian pyramids. This is it. This is the classic call to adventure, that invitation to leave the familiar world behind and step out into the great unknown.
This recurring dream leads him to a pretty wild chance encounter. He meets this mysterious old man who, turns out, is a king in disguise. And this meeting, it changes everything, because the king finally puts a name to that restless feeling that's been pulling at Santiago his whole life. The king introduces him to this idea of a personal legend. And it's such a cool concept, right? It reframes his deepest desires not as some childish fantasy, but as his true calling. The king explains that we all know our personal legend when we're young, but as we grow up, we let fear and other people's opinions bury it. The true purpose of life, he says, is to dig it back up and pursue it relentlessly.
And the key to following your legend, the king advises, is learning to read the signs from the universe. The book calls this the soul of the world. Think of it as a universal current that connects everything and speaks a language without words. By paying attention to omens and so-called coincidences, you can let the universe itself guide your path.
So, inspired, Santiago makes a monumental decision. He sells his sheep, his entire livelihood, his whole world, and sets off for Africa. But the moment he steps onto this new path, he learns that the universe's help doesn't mean the journey's going to be easy.
Almost immediately, he's robbed of everything. He's all alone, totally broke, and in a foreign land. This is his first major test. Is he going to give up and go home? Or will he push forward, trusting the path he's chosen?
He chooses to push on and finds work with a crystal merchant. This character is fascinating. See, he also has a dream, a pilgrimage to Mecca, but he's actually afraid to achieve it because then he'd have nothing left to dream about. He represents the comfort of an unfulfilled dream, a trap Santiago has to avoid.
The merchant's life illustrates one of the book's core lessons. He lives with this quiet, constant pain of inaction, and through him, Santiago learns a vital truth. While the journey to your dream is hard, the real, lasting suffering comes from the regret of abandoning it out of fear.
After a whole year of patient work, Santiago not only earns his money back, but he's also learned a valuable lesson in perseverance. With his dream reignited, he joins a caravan to cross the vast Sahara, entering a new phase of his journey where the lessons become even deeper.
In the caravan, he meets an Englishman who is also on a quest to find a legendary alchemist. The Englishman believes wisdom is found only in ancient books and complex theories. Santiago, in contrast, finds his wisdom by observing the desert, listening to the caravan, and just paying attention to the world around him. One seeks knowledge, the other seeks understanding.
At a sprawling oasis, Santiago finds something he never expected. He falls deeply in love with a woman named Fatma, and this presents a new, powerful temptation. Should he just stay with her and give up his quest for the treasure?
But Fatima teaches him a profound lesson that challenges his entire perspective. She insists that true love doesn't possess, it liberates. She tells him to go, promising to wait, showing him that real love supports your destiny. It doesn't demand you abandon it.
And finally, he meets the alchemist. This wise guy doesn't give him easy answers. Instead, he teaches Santiago how to find them within himself. By listening to his heart, connecting with the soul of the world, and realizing that his fear is the only real obstacle.
Guided by the alchemist, Santiago survives tribal wars, confronts his deepest fears, and learns to speak the very language of the desert and the wind. He is transformed, And now, at last, he reaches the Egyptian pyramids.
His journey has been immense, from the familiar fields of Spain, across the sea to a new continent, and through the soul-testing emptiness of the Sahara. He arrives at the pyramids a completely different person, ready to finally claim his treasure. But as he starts to dig, he's brutally beaten and robbed again. As the thieves leave him for dead, one of them mocks him, saying he once had a foolish dream himself about a treasure buried back in Spain, under a tree in a ruined church, the very place Santiago's journey began.
This is the story's ultimate paradox. Was the journey all for nothing? Did he suffer through all of this only to find out the treasure was at home the entire time? This moment is the final and most important test of his wisdom.
And the answer is a resounding no. The treasure may have been physically at home, but Santiago could have never found it or understood its value without the journey. The journey was the price of admission. It forged him into the person capable of recognizing his own treasure.
He returns to the familiar, ruined church where his dream began. He digs by the roots of the sycamore tree, and this time he finds it, a chest brimming with gold and jewels. But we understand now that this physical reward is only a symbol of the real treasure he's already found.
This reveals the book's final truth. Transformation is the real treasure. He didn't just find gold, he found himself. The journey gave him wisdom from hardship, the experience of a liberating love, and the ability to hear the language of the world. Most importantly, it gave him the courage to see his personal legend through to the very end.
The treasure was always at home, but the path to it led all the way to Egypt and back. This journey, with all its suffering and joy, was not a detour. It was the entire point. It was the only way he could truly arrive.
And that leaves us with a final thought. The Alchemist isn't just Santiago's story. It's an invitation to look at our own lives. It asks us to consider the recurring dreams and desires we might have dismissed, and to wonder what journey they might be calling us to.